Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your entire life? Someone you considered family? I have, and this is my story. It all started when my best friend, let's call her Chloe, went through a messy breakup. She was devastated, homeless, and had nowhere to go. My heart broke for her. We'd known each other since kindergarten. She was the sister I never had. So without a second thought, I opened my home to her. My husband Mark was supportive. He said, "Of course, she can stay with us. That's what friends are for." So Chloe moved into our spare bedroom, rent-free. For 6 whole months, she lived with us. I cooked for her, listened to her cry for hours, and helped her get back on her feet. She'd hug me and say, "You're more than a friend, you're my sister." I don't know what I'd do without you. I felt good helping her. It felt right. Life slowly returned to a new normal. Chloe started going out again, smiling, laughing. I was so happy for her. Mark and I had our routine, Chloe had hers, and it all seemed to be working. We were one big, slightly unconventional, happy family. Or so I thought. The first crack in that perfect picture appeared on a Tuesday morning. I was cleaning the guest bathroom, the one Chloe used exclusively. Tucked away behind the trash can, I found something that made my blood run cold, a condom wrapper. It wasn't a brand Mark and I used. My mind started racing, trying to make sense of it. Maybe she'd finally met someone new? I was happy for her, but a little hurt she hadn't told me. That evening, I casually mentioned it to Mark. "Looks like Chloe might be dating again," I said, trying to sound nonchalant. He just shrugged, his eyes glued to the TV. "That's nice," he mumbled. A little later, I showed him the wrapper. "Ever seen this brand before?" I asked. He glanced at it and shook his head. "Nope, not mine." He said it so quickly, so dismissively. But something in his eyes flickered, a tiny, almost imperceptible shift. It was a look I'd never seen before, and it planted a seed of doubt in my mind. That seed grew into a monstrous, thorny vine over the next few days. I started noticing things. The way Mark would suddenly quiet his phone screen when I walked into the room. The late-night work emergencies that became more frequent. The way Chloe would avoid my gaze, her usual bubbly personality replaced by a nervous energy. I tried to ignore it, telling myself I was being paranoid, that my mind was playing tricks on me. I wanted to trust them. I really, really did. The breaking point came a week later. Mark was in the shower, and his phone, left on the nightstand, buzzed. And buzzed again, and again. It was on silent, but the screen kept lighting up with notifications. All from Chloe. My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. I told myself not to look, that it was an invasion of privacy, that I was being a crazy, jealous wife. But I couldn't stop myself. My fingers seemed to move on their own. I picked up the phone. It was unlocked. And there it was. My entire world shattered in a single notification preview. A message from Chloe to my husband. It wasn't just a friendly text. The words burned into my brain. With trembling fingers, I opened their message thread. It was a novel of their affair. 37 new messages in just the last hour. I scrolled up, days, weeks, months of them. Secret plans, shared jokes, explicit declarations, then I saw the videos. 12 of them. My hand flew to my mouth to stifle a gasp. I couldn't bring myself to watch them, but the thumbnails told me everything I needed to know. It was them, in my house, in my bed. A strange calm washed over me. The kind of calm that comes after the storm has ripped everything apart. There were no more tears left to cry, no more screams left to be screamed. Just a cold, hard, empty silence. I stood there, in the quiet of my bedroom, listening to the sound of the shower running, the sound of my husband washing away the evidence of his betrayal. I didn't confront them. What was the point? Their lies were laid bare on that screen. Screaming and crying wouldn't undo what they had done. It wouldn't heal the gaping wound they had carved into my soul. No, I decided in that moment that I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of a dramatic fight. They didn't deserve my tears. They didn't deserve my anger. Instead, I waited. I became a ghost in my own home. I smiled, I made dinner, I asked about their day. And all the while, I was gathering my ammunition. For the next 2 weeks, I meticulously documented everything. I used a software to copy their entire message history. I set up a recording app on a spare phone and captured their hushed late-night phone calls when they thought I was asleep. Every "I love you," every secret rendezvous plan, every time they mocked me. I saved it all. The day I chose was a Monday. I packed a single suitcase. Then I sat down at my computer and composed 2 emails. The first email went to Chloe's very religious, very traditional parents. I attached the call recordings and the most damning screenshots of her messages. I wrote a simple, polite subject line, regarding your daughter, Chloe. The second email was more complex. It went to the head of human resources at Mark's company, a large, family-oriented corporation with a strict code of conduct policy. I CC'd his direct boss and the entire executive board. In it, I detailed the affair, explaining that it occurred with someone living in my home under false pretenses and involved the use of company time and resources for their meets. I attached every single piece of evidence, the messages, the call logs, the video files. I hit send on both emails. Then, I turned off my phone, left my house key and wedding ring on the kitchen counter and drove away. I didn't look back. The fallout was swift and spectacular. I heard through a mutual acquaintance that Chloe was fired from her prestigious job within a day. Her parents, utterly humiliated, kicked her out. Mark was placed on immediate leave and eventually fired for gross misconduct, his career and reputation in tatters. They imploded, just as I knew they would. Their world built on secrets and lies crumbled under the weight of the truth. And me, I never spoke to either of them again. I changed my name, moved to a state on the other side of the country, and started over. Sometimes people think revenge is about loud, explosive confrontations. But I learned something powerful through all of that pain. I learned that sometimes the most devastating revenge is silence. The silence of your absence. The silence that allows the truth to speak for itself in the loudest voice imaginable. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I'll be sharing more stories like this, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.